I am back making a new template for my AWS CloudFormation reference GitHub repository. Today I want to go through making, there's my terminal, go through making a template for an IAM user. And while I go through making this template, I want the user to be created, and then all of the I want to create an access key for the IAM user, so like this access key, and then I want to put that information, so that the secret access key and the access key ID, I want to put that into a secrets manager secret. And one cool thing that I noticed about IAM users and access keys is that this serial here is a value specific to CloudFormation, can only be incremented, and incrementing it rotates your access key. So when you update your stack, CloudFormation replaces the access key. Now, I thought that was really cool, and the idea that I want to go, that I want this to end up looking like is I can create an IAM user, let's say for myself, or for some sort of automation, and then I want that access key to be easily rotated, and then I want to put that access key into a secret, and then the idea from there is that anytime I need to update that access key, like a 90-day rotation or a 45-day rotation, what have you, all that involves is incrementing that serial, deploying the template, and then going to Secrets Manager to grab the new credentials, the new access key ID and secret access key. And then from there, you could plug it into your automation, or you can, I think the further evolution of this template would be to maybe, instead of putting it in a secret, you could give those credentials to a Lambda function that's defined as a custom resource in your CloudFormation template, and then that Lambda function would reach out and to whatever automation that is being used, and the Lambda function would update environment variables or update whatever it is that the automation uses to reference its own secret access, its own access key and secret key. So that's the idea behind it. So if you're using something in GitHub, it could reach out, GitHub Actions or something, it could reach out to GitHub Actions and push the new secrets, something along those lines. That's my thought. I think there would be more setup involved than just this, but this was a thought that had been bubbling around in my head, so I wanted to build it, deploy it, and show it working, and then ultimately, I want to add it to my CloudFormation reference repository. So let's go ahead and start. I know that I'm going to need some sort of reference, so I'll just go into the Lambda function and grab this out. Alright, I don't need those. Next, I know I'm going to need the IAM user. And, oops. I need to name it. So this is going to be my IAM user. Now I don't think a lot of this is necessary for me. So I don't need groups. I'm not going to be doing groups. I'm not going to be doing a login profile because I don't want a static password for this. I could do manage policy ARNs. I'm not going to use a path. I'm not going to do a permissions boundary for this. Policies, I guess this is if you needed more fine-grained control over what this IAM user had access to. This is where you could do it on like a per service or per API call level, and the username. And since that's not required, I'm not actually going to use it. So I think the only thing I might need is the manage policy ARN. So I don't actually know what I currently have my personal IAM user set up to do. I'm going to go ahead and guess it's just admin. I have IQ and then I have admin access. So let's see if there's, I might end up doing admin access, but if there's something similar to admin access but not as, I'll just go with admin access for now. I'm going to be deleting this, so this is more or less just an exercise at this point. Oh, also I named this file Markdown. It's definitely not Markdown. So I need to put that in there, and then let me rename this as YAML. Okay, there we go. Don't need those, and I don't need any of that. I think that might be all I need, to be honest. And then I know I need to make an access key. Name of the IAM user that the new key will belong to. So that will have to reference my IAM user. So I'll start my serial out. Well, let me start with the access key itself. Access key. We have all this information. Oops. There we go. Serial, I'll start it at 1. Maybe I should start it at, it should be active. Maybe I should start it at 0, but I won't do that right now. And then the username, I'm going to go ahead and guess that I need to reference IAM user. IAM user, what are the return values? It returns the username, so perfect. That should create my access key. And then I'll need to create an access key secret, which would come from here. Description. Let's say these are the credentials for the IAM user. IAM user. And that should reference its username, so we'll be able to see the username in Secrets Manager. We don't need that. Is the name required? If the name's not required, I'll let it generate it. Yeah, I think I'll just let it generate it. Replica regions, I'm not going to replicate it. Secret string and tag. So the secret string, I want something like this. I think to do that, I think I actually know how to do that. Let's do a sub on this, and we will have, let's see what these names are, and I'll just mirror what's happening here. So we have access key ID, and I'll have to join this since I have to use the get at to get the secret access key. So I'll have to actually join this. And I haven't done many joins. I believe I need what will be joined, and then I need the actual strings. So do access key ID, and this will have strings for, I'll go ahead and make the final just to make sure that I close the brackets. And so I'll have the open quote, and then I'll have the sub, or this is the access key ID, so just a ref, and that's just access key, right? So my ref will just return the access key ID, and then my next join will have to be a close of the quotes, comma, and then probably this. I'll just stick with that, open comma or quote, and then here we will need to do a get at on access key for secret access key. Then that's it. So I need to close my quotes, and I think I would be done. So open quote, access key ID, close quote, secret access key, close quote, close bracket. So I think that's correct. Let me see if I have a, let me reference join, CloudFormation join, because in YAML it might have to be the FN, yeah, it might have to be FN join, and then the list. Oh, it doesn't have to be. Okay. Okay. Well, that's kind of easy. It might, yeah, it might be able to work. So with join, I can do that get at. With sub, I guess I could do it as well. Yeah, I could do it. Yeah. I could do it just as easily with sub. So yeah, I think probably either way. I'm gonna go ahead and guess that they would want you to do sub because I'm just joining with a blank string, which is probably the same thing as sub, but that's okay. I already wrote it out, so I'll just leave it the way it is. I'm not sure if this is gonna work, but we're gonna go ahead and try it and see what happens. I need my repo, I need IAM, and I need my IAM user. And let's spin this stack up. So it should create a user in IAM, and then it should also create a secret. Let's see how it's doing. It's creating the IAM user. I currently don't have secrets, so I know that hasn't gone through. Okay, there we go. There's my user. So it just generates a random username, which is fine because the whole idea of this is that it's automation. I've said it in other ones of my videos, but I'll go ahead and say it again. I personally don't like naming things with unique names. I would rather the names be generic. I would rather them be generated or have some sort of ID in them. If I do need to reference, oh, well, that worked. All right. If I do need to reference something, I like to go to the stack and I'll either put something in outputs or I'll just look through resources, and the resources will give me the name of all the resources that are created. That's how I differentiate. I I think that there are more problems that can happen by giving resources specific names versus just letting them be a random name. I can take this template and I can reproduce it as many times as I want, and since I didn't hard code a name in, I don't have to worry about conflicts, like naming conflicts, none of that. So it's, in my opinion, just a much cleaner and forward-thinking way of going about naming your resources in AWS, or really in any cloud environment. So here we go. We have the admin access on the credentials, and in Secrets Manager, the secret name is string. Oh, well, that was my fault. In string, I'm going to go ahead and guess that. So we have our secret access key and our secret, our access key ID and our secret access key. Don't worry about me showing this. I'm going to delete it right after this. So that's why I'm not worried about showing everyone this secret access key of this dummy IAM role that I created. So I don't know what happens if I update it after removing that string. I don't know if it throws a fit or if I'm going to go ahead and guess it won't work, because one thing about the secret access key is I believe it only returns on creation. So there we go. To ensure the security of your AWS account, secret access key is accessible only during key or user creation. You must save the key, like in a text file. If you want to be able to access again, if a secret key is lost, you can delete the access keys for the associated user and then create new keys. So I'm going to go ahead and guess that this isn't going to work, but let's try it anyway. I really don't know what's going to happen. But since that's not there anymore, I'll go ahead and plan for that to, well, let's see what happens real quick. Has to create a new resource. I'm surprised that worked, but here we are. So there's my secret access key. I don't know if it'll have a value. It does actually have the value. I'm kind of surprised by that. So let's go through the situation of rotating credentials. So serial goes to 2. Right here it's GC2R, and let's make sure that it works as intended. I'm going to go down here, and this change set should show us that the access key is going to be replaced, and then the secret is going to be replaced. So the access key is replaced and the secret access key is replaced. So we'll update this. Remember, it's GC2R. Access key is created, the secret was updated, and GC2R, we get it again, it's L2OB. So the secrets have been rotated. I'll just go ahead and say, just kind of throw it out there, that I have actually used this, and I'm not going to go through the steps of confirming that it works. What you would do to confirm that this works is take this secret access key ID and the access key ID and the secret access key, run the AWS, what I would do at least, is run AWS config, put those parameters in so you have a configured AWS CLI, and then run something like AWS get EC2 instances, and just to confirm to yourself that the rotation worked. Then maybe rotate the credentials again, try it again, confirm that it doesn't work because the credentials have been rotated, update the secret access key, prove to yourself that it works, and then you know that the rotation works. I have done that already, so I know that this idea and this template works, so I'm not going to go through the steps of confirming it. I just wanted to more or less show what it looks like to go through these steps. Actually, yeah, I'll leave this as one. So if you wanted to get a little bit, I guess, crazier, you could, not that it's really crazy, you could take this serial number and put it as a parameter. So then the template doesn't have to be updated every time. Actually, sure, I'll go ahead and do that right now, actually. Serial type, I think, is number, description, increment this to rotate credentials, and then at 18 we want to reference our serial. I don't know if it's that easy, but we're gonna find out. I might have missed a step, might have missed something. All right, there we go. So if this is 2, it shouldn't update anything because serial should have been 2 before. Should just more or less be an update to the parameters. So yeah, it's already cleaning up. So nothing actually happened there. I guess the benefit of doing it this way is you can do update, you can use the current template, and since increment this to rotate credentials, I'll just increment this 1. Does it not work for me? Okay, well, I was hoping that little clicker would work for me, but if anyone at AWS watches this, I think you might have a bug in your input. But you go through there, go ahead and update the stack. It'll go through the update. As we've already seen, this will change. This will update from L2 to whatever it updates itself to. It's updated. Let's look at it. JLK, and there you don't have to actually manually go in and update the template. It's all done for you. So that will do it for this video. That's actually all I wanted to do, and that was a lot quicker than I thought it would be. Didn't really have to debug anything. So that's always fun. That's always a good feeling when you make a template and it just works. I'll go ahead and, well, I'm going to, just to prove, I'm going to delete this stack. So no, you can't use those credentials to access my AWS account again. Sorry. And I will push this template to that AWS CloudFormation reference repository. If you're interested in using it, it's free, it's open source. Hopefully you can use it as a good starting point, and let's make sure that this user is gone. It is gone. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.